Hello, my name's Medea. I'm a women's health physio, and today I am going to be going through some of my most favourite books when it comes to weaning the babies. So this is generally from 4 months onwards. Some people like to start at 6 months. Whatever you decide, these are the books for you. So my favourite three are by Gina. So this one, The Little Book of Weaning. The second one, more so the author here, Annabel Karmel. Any of her range of books are my favourite. This one is just for an example. And then the final one I'm going to talk about is one by Zainab Ahmed, which is Easy Indian Super Meals. So they are the three that we're going to review today. So starting off with Gina. So if you watched my last video, you will recall I was talking about the first 6 months and having a routine, and there was a little section about weaning at the end of there. This is far more detailed, so this is the one. If you're all about weaning, this is what you want. The introduction in the last book is basically an introduction. This is a wealth of information. It goes through everything from kind of all the different types of food that you should be introducing, at what stage you should be introducing it, how you should be introduce it into your routine, how you should store it. It breaks down the stages of weaning from first kind of initial kind of like purees. It's a very puree based model, giving you a day-to-day schedule of what and how much milk, followed by how much puree for the evening, building it all up day by day, week by week, month by month, heading over to kind of 6-7 months as a start, then going into stage 2, which is 7 to 9 months, and looking at introducing protein into the diet. And then that carries on into more meal planning, so kind of getting more suppers and lunches in there, and examples and case studies, common Q&A questions as well. It then goes on to recipes, loads of recipes. They're very kind of descriptive. There's no pictures, it's not colourful, but they are very easy to follow, and I would say generally the portions are probably quite good, I would say, in terms of recommendations. I would and then finally going to like 9 to 12 months, you got full-on menus, so literally like a meal planner for like the whole family almost, and how much milk you should still be left with, how much food should be in. So yeah, this takes you pretty much up to 1 year, and then there's a section 12 months and over, and then finishes off with an A to Z of foods at the end. So it's very descriptive, very detailed. Highly recommend it, just from that transition of milk to food. Are we giving too much food a bit too quickly? Is the milk not quite enough? You know, and keeping that all going. So it follows on really well from Gina's last book, which was The Contented Baby, which I spoke about in the last video. So this is a great follow-on from that, so I highly recommend it. The Little Baby Book of Weaning by Gina. Then my most favourite author when it comes to weaning and recipes and baby food is Annabel Karmel. She has loads and loads of resources. This is just one of the books, but the one I particularly like from Annabel is the first year planner. This one it's fabulous. It kind of gives you week by week full plans, 9 o'clock food, blah blah blah, food, milk, food, like almost in like little timetables that you can just literally print and stick on your fridge, so you know exactly when to tick. It kind of says, okay, porridge and 1 cube of I know, raspberry or whatever it is. So it's very descriptive, very easy to follow. It goes through again the different types of food, introducing them. Any of Annabel Karmel books, 100 purees, fussy foods for toddlers, so many range of books she's got, but her recipes are absolutely fantastic. So easy to follow, all the stuff you always have, lots of finger food, exploring tastes and textures. Occasionally there's a little mention of sugar and things, which I'm not quite sure about, but generally it's really good from a kind of a visual of what is the amount of food, the type of food, how to process the food. Very much puree based again, like Gina. The other type of weaning is baby-led weaning. I haven't actually got any baby-led weaning books with me today. So yeah, and there's loads of tips on how to store. She's very big on batch cooking, so you can actually buy equipment by Annabel, which is kind of like storage pots, so you can bulk cook all the meals, freeze them. And she also has her own range of food, pre-made food packets as well. But if you're going kind of doing it yourself, absolutely amazing recipes. He makes loads. And I think I've pretty much got most of my inspiration. I ended up just getting normal ice cubes and tiny little pots from the pound shop, which I would put the meals in. So like 1 cube is about 1 tablespoon. So that starts off being kind of like part of 1 meal initially, and then you eventually bulk that up to 1 ice cube of veg, 1 ice cube of protein, 1 ice cube of carb, and then that kind of makes the 3 cubes, which then you start putting them in slightly bigger pots, and then you can just make one recipe, split it in between all those containers and just freeze it, and then you kind of pick one out and let it defrost, and then go from there really. So yeah, I've got a lot to thank and a lot of admiration for Annabel's books. They totally were the best thing I did, investing in her books when I was looking into weaning. And then finishing off the last book I wanted to mention, only because it's so different. Like generally, like Gina, Annabel, loads of them, they tend to be very much how do I say it, English recipes, English food. So with my background, I wanted to have a little bit more kind of, I suppose you can have purees, but when it comes to it, eventually you want your kid eating your own food. So going from a transition of salt and pepper in food to a full-on blown curry, which I want to be feeding my kids, it's quite a big distance. So what I tried to start introducing was just a little pinch of different flavored spices in my food, and built that up to eventually, once we had protein in, starting to make the food the same as we would normally, minus the salt, which was the big thing. And then I kind of came across this book, so I never actually ended up using it because I've already started to introduce spice, introduce our normal diet to the children so they can transition. But if you were thinking about introducing more culturally diverse food into your baby's diet, or maybe you like kind of curries and things, then this book is a really nice one. You can make these recipes for the whole family. It's great going through from educating you around the rainbow diet, the different types of food, different types of spices, how they're beneficial, when to use them. The recipes range from Indian salad roti wrap to Bombay potatoes, masala fish, paprika salmon, yeah, loads of yummy paneer, butternut squash. So loads and loads of lovely, colourful, inspirational recipes, which I would probably say the whole family would like, if that's the kind of cuisine or food you 3. That's the kids in the back there. The 3 ones. So Gina called Weaning, any of Annabel Karmel's books, and then finishing off thinking a little bit more outside the box. If you're looking to introduce spice, then we have Zainab Ahmed's book there as well. Hope you found that useful. See you soon.